I pressed the button. See,
Start the shit.
I pressed it. See,
don't do this.
Whatever. Don't act different today.
You don't like
just because you whooped my ass on the golf course on 18 holes today doesn't mean you got to act different today.
Did I?
Are we talking about ass whoopings?
Can we not talk about ass whoopings this episode?
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. Yeah, my boy. That's his house from now on.
So you do fantasy football?
Nah, but I know.
Okay. So I'm in like a big league. It's $100 buy-in. It's like basically my whole family. It's like me, him, both of my brothers.
What's the how many people?
1,200. So it's 12 people, $100 buy-in.
Yeah.
So second place get their money back.
Yeah.
So it's 1,100. Yeah, straight up.
You want to put the mic a little bit closer.
A little closer, got you.
But yeah, so I play him last week in my big league, and then we did like a fantasy one with like all of us on the pod.
Plus a couple extra people.
Yeah, just to fill it out because the lowest you can get is 8. So his wife joined too. Played them both back in the same week. Dubbed them both.
Yeah.
Who's your quarterback?
So we do like our things a little bit different. We do 2 quarterbacks and 2 flexes.
Okay.
So it's like a lot more points. But in both of my leagues, I got Aaron Rodgers, and then I got Joe Burrow on one, and then
you make it out every week.
Aaron Rodgers in both, Joe Burrow in I think our podcast one, and then Russell Wilson in my big one.
Oh dang, Trey Russ.
Man, I got Mariota. I'm thinking about starting him over here.
Yeah, no, for real.
To build onto that, I actually had a bench Matthew Stafford for the last 2 weeks and started Jared Goff, and Jared Goff been cooking. He
had like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns last week.
Stupid. Yeah. But everybody, welcome back to another episode of It's On Us podcast. Today it's just me, Ash, got Gabe, and a very special guest. Somebody that Gabe has known for a while since freshman year of high school, I would say.
Yeah.
I met him through Gabe. Ash has known him for a while. Mr. Sharod Brown.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man.
Owner of Elevated. I want to mess up the name of this. I'm sorry. Elevated Training Center in Elevation.
Yeah.
Elevation Training Center in Elyria. Is it where your location is? It Elyria, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's the border.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Elyria, Ohio, you own your own gym.
Jacob's hometown. That's your hometown, right, Jacob? Elyria.
You from the E?
Just because I live in the E, he always says.
You from the E? That's what I heard.
I grew up a little bit in Elyria, though.
I grew up in Lorraine.
Mostly Campito, but a little bit in Elyria.
I understand.
West Side Bell.
But welcome to the show. How you doing? How you doing, Sharod?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. Blessed, no complaints.
No complaints. Well, I'm glad you were able to join us this week. So we're just gonna dive on into some questions and see how the show goes.
Oh yeah.
The first question I have is, me and John, who's not here this week, we seen you at the 3-on-3 Community Fest in Oakwood Park a couple weeks ago. How important is it for you to have a training center to be able to get your kids out into the community in events like that?
Well, it's extremely important because I feel like you could be doing your thing as far as whatever business it would be, but like if it's just only like, let me figure out how I want to say it. If it's only impactful to like you and not for like other people, it could only like do so much.
Right.
So like as far as like I could have this like great business or whatever like that and just be chilling and doing my own thing. But then when I get out and partner with other people, show up to other events and do other things in the community, it's more impactful as far as like my reach and just, just getting out, helping other people and supporting other people, what they got going on in the community.
So you're real big on like collaborative projects that are for us to push our intention or...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If it makes sense.
Right.
Because I ain't just showing up anywhere.
Yeah. I'm sure you get a lot of like invites, people like, hey, show up. I'm like, that's not really like my...
It got to make sense because like with, what's his name? Darius, with him doing the 3-on-3, he did one... I think this was his third one.
Yes,
maybe.
It was his third year
one
in a row.
And I was just up there, and he had asked me to sponsor some kids and bring some kids up from ETC that I was training. So we took some kids up there, and obviously I wasn't leaving without winning. So but we took them up there. It was some good competition, and it was just really just nice to be out there at the event. I ended up playing too. I wasn't supposed to play, but I guess it has always happened like that. But nah, it was
seen the ball on the court. I know.
You keep his kicks in the cars in
He
case.
said, I gotta play one time for the fun time.
I actually went up there with the intention, like, I'm not playing today. And somebody's like, I got some shoes for you, right?
Gee.
He's like, I already got shoes in my car.
Yeah. And I'm like, here we go.
Now, you talk about ETC, Elevation Training Center, as your baby, but what led you down this path to want to train in basketball? Like, what were your roots and what laid the foundation of you wanting to get involved in training for basketball?
So I always really been like playing ball and like hooping and stuff, but as far as like when I like took on the like personal initiative, because I wanted to go overseas and play for a little bit. So I remember, Gabe probably remember too, we was playing in a league in Vermilion. We was playing in this Vermilion league. I'm playing in an open door league. I'm playing in another Cleveland league when what's his name, Nick, was just I first found out about the P League. So I'm playing in these 3 leagues. I'm probably doing like 3 a days, 2 a days almost every day, on top of still going to school and working at Applebee's still at the same time. So I'm like really like pushing, you feel me, like about to make my like push to go overseas. Then I end up fracturing my foot.
Ooh.
Did
it hurt?
At first, because like my mentality, and I know we were talking a little bit about this before we started recording, but like my mentality as far as just like pain and stuff like that is like absolutely crazy. Because like I tore my meniscus in high school, and like
he played a couple games with a torn meniscus.
Yeah, like I'm practicing on the torn meniscus. Because like I remember one practice, man, I can't.
You got
remember.
surgery over winter break, ain't it? So
and I came back.
Yeah, so he didn't
that
even miss school.
season.
Over winter break,
He didn't even miss school or anything like that.
I didn't miss no school. I probably missed a couple practices. Went to therapy, came back still that season. And on top of that,
Savage.
I remember we got one practice. I think it was either Aaron Arnowski. Do y'all know who Aaron Arnowski is?
I know Aaron.
Yeah, we seen him at tailgating.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I don't know if it was Aaron Arnowski, somebody, one of the upperclassmen. I'm like, matter of fact, it was Aaron Arnowski. It was out of all people. Josh is a cool dude though. Josh Molina.
Okay.
And he not a hooper.
No, he's
So Josh, we in the practice. Josh Molina's like, man, Sharod, toughen up, bro. Like you, like just like kind of like getting on me for like being hurt. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, watch this. So I'm going down with the torn meniscus, I think we was doing like a drill that Coach Alley called North Carolina. We doing North Carolina. I'm like, all right, boom, layup. Still limping up down the floor on top of it. So
you said
like,
you can't touch me right now.
So my pain, my like mentality to like just lock in and just like be able to just like take stuff has always been like super crazy. But then going back to the training story, so I fractured my foot. But when I'm fracturing my foot, like I was saying, I'm training to go overseas and stuff. So then I had a tryout lined up to play in like probably like 3 like countries. Scott was gonna come and watch me try out, but I fractured my foot. I can't try out now.
Right.
So then I get healed, and I'm like, all right, it's summertime by then. So I start back working out again, and all y'all know my little brother or whatever. From the get-go though, like even when I was in high school, each time I like train, went somewhere, I'm taking my little brother with me. Like he anywhere with me doing workouts.
That's why he a dog now.
He doing everything that I'm doing. Like and he's 4 years younger than me.
He would talk to me like, why are you so small? And he's like in the 8th grade, bro.
If you ever see his brother,
big, bro.
I'm talking about Zion in the flesh. Like that's him. Like if Zion was,
Yeah.
No joke.
Your brother's baby Zion.
He went to
yeah.
So your brother too. Shout out to him. Like went to St. Ed's, right?
Yeah, he from Lorraine kid, went to Durling, Clearview's middle school, gets recruited to go to play Eds, goes to Eds, does his thing for 4 years, get a D1 scholarship.
Where you at right now?
He won the ring, ain't it? He won the ring, right?
Yeah, and he won a state championship last year.
Yep.
Where he at now?
Dartmouth. It's a D1 school in New Hampshire.
Okay.
It's an Ivy League school.
I've heard of Dartmouth. Yeah.
Dartmouth is in with
like Penn, Yale, stuff like that. So
top echelons Ivy League. I got you.
Yeah. So my brother was like literally like my first like client without me like knowing like nothing about like business. So I would be taking my brother with me or whatever, and mind you, like he had friends and stuff like that, but like I'm like, forget your friends. I'm like, you need to come get this work. You know what I'm saying? So like then his friends would be like, well, I want to come like work out with y'all. So like sometimes I'll take them to work out with us or whatever. But then it got to the point so many of them would want to come to the workouts, and I would just be like, shoot, I'm trying to like hit up other. I'm trying to, at this time now, I'm trying to contact like different churches, different gyms and stuff to try to be like, hey, I got these kids that want to like come work out. Can we like use your facility, whatever and whatnot? But like, it will always be like something, like some stipulation, like, oh, we can't let you do it. Or, you know, we got this going on, this, that, and the third. Just some like really like excuses, because like, as I'm finding out in business too, like everybody always says it's like all about who you know. But
It
like,
is.
who the
It
heck,
is.
but like, you know, now thinking about it, like I'm just thinking about like right now, like who, a random dude just calling like, hey, I could use your gym. Hey, I could use your gym.
You,
like,
you would be hesitant because I'm like, where you coming
yeah,
from?
like who,
who
this
you?
dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I'm like, I'm just doing it off the humbug. Like, I ain't doing it for no money. I ain't doing it for none of that. So like, I'm just like, hey, like, I ain't charging these kids nothing. Like, you think we could like use your gym a couple times? But like, nobody was like really rocking with me.
See,
So he made one himself.
So you may win yourself. Now, in an interview that you did recently, you talk about how you have a mentor, and how, for you personally, like how was it important for you to have a mentor, you know, in your personal life, but also in your professional life to help build your brand and build your business?
Absolutely, it was like, and I said this too on like a recent interview that I just did. Like, having the right people around you in life is like extremely like vital. Because when you don't know where like you going in life, you need people who could see what's in you beyond what you could see. So my pastors, Vanessa Young and then Daryl Young, they like initially just gave me like the vision and the blueprint, really to be like, hey, like we see this in you. You can start this business. Like this, what you need to do. This, that, and the third. And just basically just gave me the push from there. And then from there, I just took it and just ran with it.
Okay.
So then along the time, and this is, mind you, this are all around the same time where I'm still hurt, but I'm still training the people and my brother, his friends and stuff like that. So I'm like going to like my mentor, my pastors, or I'm just like, man, like I got something that I want to do, but like I'm like finding like roadblocks. Like I still want to go overseas. I still want to do this. I still want to work. So like I got like all these avenues that I want to do, but like I'm not really like having no like traction, like doing nothing, because like it's cool that I got my degree or whatever, and you know, medical assistant like that, but like I find it much more fulfilling being able to do something that I like absolutely like be like, I could just, jumping out the bed like I'm possessed or whatever. Like I'm just
something
I go,
you
like,
find that enjoyment in, like
going able to be like, this
is
is mine. I get to go do what I get. It's a fulfillment type thing. So with that being said, they were extremely, you know, vital and like getting me into the lane as far as like structuring me to be like, all right, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a business owner. Because at the time, I don't know what any of that is. So I'm just like, I'm about to just train people, you know, but like it's so much more as I'm still growing and figuring out. Just like, I don't know, at that time, I'm like, what? I want to say like probably like 22 going on like 23. So like, I don't know what the heck a LLC is. I don't know what a finance sheet is. I don't know any of this stuff. So they're basically just like cradling me, catering me to like, you know, just being able to have something that's, you know, going to work, you know, because the first thing I remember my mentor that she told me, she was like, a lot of people who start small businesses or whatever, they'll be out of business like within 3 to 5 years. So I'm going into my third year right now. So I'm like, I'm about to make it out. I'm going to make it out of 5. So,
sure,
you know what I'm saying? So it was just little stuff like that they just like implemented me to give me the phenomenal push to be like, I could actually do this, and it's something that actually makes sense for my life.
Right. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Whole play got
That's
him.
amazing.
So no, just speak on the importance of, well, I feel like now it's more talked about it being like entrepreneur, doing your own thing, starting your own business. Like, it's not for everybody though.
No, not at all. Because I remember when I first started, when I opened up ETC, I'm working at Applebee's. I'm working at the surgery center, and I'm still staying with my mom at the time. So, and I'm still paying my car off at the time, which still also trying to figure out a whole bunch of other adult stuff. But
Adulting, man, it's tricky as
it's
hell.
ridiculous.
I try to tell you, life come fast, man.
It's and it ain't
don't-
slowing down.
That shit ain't gonna
It's not
stop.
slowing down.
Shit ain't
Me and
gonna
Jake
stop.
got kids. Man,
Shit
it ain't
just keep
slowing.
going.
But I'm still trying to figure all of that out. So like, I'm like, okay. So my pastors, and I'll get into this now too, since we already there. So with me having the building, they have the building at the church. All right, and you can see it on my Instagram. For what the picture on my Instagram is actually would have looked back then a lot worse in person. So it's a warehouse building. So the warehouse building at the time has a van in there. It has a desk in there. It's got all of these wooden church chairs in there. It's got a carpet in there. It's got a
We
hardwood.
playing basketball on carpet.
No, like you see this carpet on your
Right,
floor.
yeah.
It's a random slice of carpet.
God,
Just white, like right when you walk in, just a random slice of carpet. So and then they got like a hardwood floor that you would find in like a kitchen.
okay,
Or like a living room.
laminate or some shit.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a laminated floor.
Like open door shit.
Yeah, it's like that. So on top, it's super dusty. It's just like, because at the time the church just had it. They were just using it, just throw stuff in there.
Right.
So
storage.
I go back there and I'm like, I don't know.
He said, "I'm
Because
doing
mind
this."
you, my pastor, my mentor, she's like, go back there, let the Lord talk to you, give you vision and all this. I'm just like, it's dirty in here.
All you can see is like that.
All I could see
It was the dirt.
All I could see was
Dust.
what I saw,
Right.
but I couldn't see what I was really supposed to see at the time. If that
Right,
makes
right.
sense.
No, that makes a lot of
So
sense.
because a lot of times we looking at stuff for what we actually looking at and not looking at it to what it's supposed to be. So I literally had to just, because they're like, all right, Sharod, we'll give you the building, we'll sponsor you, help you get the floor, all of this other stuff. You just need to clean this building out, buy the equipment, and take it from there. So mind you, I'm still working my other jobs. So I'm just like, each check I get, I'ma just figure out, I'ma eat with it, I'ma just I'ma try to pay my card up. I'ma eat what I can or whatever, because my mom don't cook like that for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't like ramen noodles. I'm from I'm from the hood or whatever. I don't like, I'm bougie hood. I don't eat ramen noodles, I'm surpassed that at this time.
Got options.
He said, "I got options."
I ain't got a lot of options, but I ain't eating no ramen noodles.
He said the noodles are
So-
not on the menu.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just chop every check I get in half. So I'm only getting probably like $650, $700 a check every 2 weeks. The work in my college graduated medical degree lab technician job. So I'm only getting like $7 off of that.
Damn.
So I'm chopping that in half. So the rest of that money, I'm just throwing it to the business. I'm buying equipment, using all of that money just to get me right. And mind you, so this is in April when I get the the building.
April 2020.
This is April 2019.
2019. Okay.
So I don't count my COVID year because
Okay.
I had to shut down. So this is April 2019. So mind you, me thinking now, I gotta think business wise.
Oh yeah.
So the summertime is coming up. All the kids are going to be out of school in summertime. So that's going to be an ideal
prime
That's going to be the
opportunity.
prime opportunity for them to train.
Right.
So I got a building full of whatever, and I got 2 months to prepare. So I had to just be like, I got to dump everything into it right now. And I did it in 2 months. So I'm just throwing money in there 2 months, just working at it, cleaning. So I almost got fired from my job because I'm leaving my job early some days. I'm leaving like on lunch to go up to the gym, clean the gym. I'm like obsessed because like I got to get it done. I only got freaking June right around the corner. And on top of that, it was so much like crunch time because not only do I gotta clean, I gotta get equipment, I gotta get all this other stuff, but then on top of that, I gotta market. So I gotta get this out to the public, get this out to the schools, do all of this other stuff. to the point where it's just like, I gotta get it. It's like now or never. You know what I'm saying? So it just got to the point where they're like, okay, we're gonna give. They like like when I say literally give, like they're like, here, take the building, and from there, transformed it into what you see now.
Bro, that's awesome.
So how many? What do you got? 6 hoops in there?
4
hoops.
4, and then the turf in the back where I do like strength and conditioning.
Damn.
See, so he got a whole setup going, but even inside of all that, it's like if you didn't have that vision beforehand, and literally you said it, 60 days of straight discipline, no distractions around you.
Yeah, no.
I'm dialed in for 60 days, and look what happens.
Yeah, off of just being consistent.
Mm-hmm. Sure will.
Because off of that, I'm just like, because like, and like, I know how you said like about being like the entrepreneur thing. Like, it's other things that I want to do business wise, but like this being like my main thing that I'm like, that is like it for me. I'm so serious about this because like people may not look at it like this, but like say for instance, if I put something out there, say for instance, like I'll use for example, like I got a girls clinic I'm doing, an all girls clinic.
I've seen that.
And if I don't get the right amount of girls, female athletes to come out to the clinic, I failed that clinic or I failed at that. That's how serious it is. It's not that I missed the opportunity. I failed.
You have your projected number that you want to show up. You don't reach that number, it's like I didn't make it.
Because you believe also that you are capable to provide that service at a top level.
Oh, absolutely.
To do that. So yeah, no, I feel that part.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I'm gonna put something, that's why I say like as far as something as little as like people could think is little, but something as minimal as being like just like a clinic. Because like as far as any part of my business that could not do well or succeed well, that's falling off into some other area.
Okay.
So that's how I'm looking at it.
So you talk about how you were able to get the building through your mentor and your pastors and stuff like that. What was the defining moment for you when you realized, hey, look, maybe I can't go overseas, but I know I can still do more for the game of basketball?
I feel like that probably just came with like, it's because I would define it as making the right choice and making a wise choice.
Okay. I like how you said that.
So I could, and this is me speaking humbly, I could go, like I had a phone call with a guy a month ago about me going overseas. But if I go, like, is it really going to make like that much sense for me to go? Like I'll probably make a little bit less money. I'll get the hoop, that's cool. But I'll be away from my son. I'll be away from, I do a lot of work at our church. I'll be away from the church. And it'll just be like kind of me like going just to like go. Because it's a desire that I have, but it's not purposeful.
Okay.
So like, yeah, it'll look cool. Like, oh, Sharod, he over there doing his thing. But I don't know the language. How I'm gonna get around. I'm gonna get around. I'm gonna be walking everywhere. So it's more complex to just being like, oh, I have this opportunity. It's got to be. I got to make the wise decision. So, and I believe with me doing that, my impact and my reach, as far as like me being able to, impact other kids and empower other people, is more bigger than me just making the decision at the time to be like, oh, I'm gonna go overseas. Because to be honest, if I'm gonna end up going overseas, it'll happen in this right time or whatever.
When it's supposed to.
Yeah. Because right now I'm 26. I still probably got like a 3-year window. So
26.
So I believe I'm still skilled enough to go over there and do that. I'm probably a little bit overweight now. I'm not in hoop shape like that to go like pound for pound on that level, but I could get there.
But yeah, if you dialed in.
Yeah, I could get there.
Yeah.
But that's not where my like focus is right now. So like, it's not even like I don't feel like no regret, no remorse from it. It's just like I got something bigger on my agenda to do.
You got so many other things to worry about.
Yeah, it's like I'm all right.
You play that balance system. Is it really worth it in the end? Because you said wise decision or just a decision. Because
I seen a contract sheet from so I helped, or not. I don't want to say help because he did all the work himself. But there's a guy that I trained coming out of LC. And I was training him on and off for a couple years. He sent me like a thing or whatever that he got. He's like, man, sure, I got a deal. Thanks for like helping me train me and stuff or whatever. He like got like a deal in Croatia to play. And he only getting maybe like over like 2 bands. but he want to go hoop and play over career. So
that's
good.
what you want to do.
That's good for him,
Right,
you
right.
know. But that may not be good for me. So
Right.
Wait, 2 bands a week, a month?
a month.
I mean, yeah, that's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It all matters what
It
you
depends
like.
what
Really.
the cost of living is over there too. And
Yeah, because you got to think they're gonna pay for your travel. They're gonna pay for your living. Only thing you don't have to pay for is like food, and then from there, But at the end of the day, what's the risk and reward
Yeah,
for it?
that ain't worth it at that point.
Yeah, like
I mean, unless you really want to get out of Ohio.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
You
you know.
really try to get up out this bitch. So,
yeah, but like that's what vacations are for.
yeah.
So with you training kids and stuff like that, in your opinion, like how do you feel like they respond to maybe a tougher, voice or more stricter voice? Like, do you think that helps the kids when you train them, or do you take?
it's not, I don't even think like it's tone. It's just how you're conveying your message.
Yeah.
With the kids.
Yeah, because
How
it
do they
depends.
respond to that?
It depends on the kid though, because like there's certain kids that I've trained and mind you, this is all like me learning like over time. Because like when I first started training, I'm like everybody getting the same energy. Like I don't care. Like
I don't give a
I don't care if you you a little kid, you crying or whatever. You gonna like
He said either my starting point guard or the 12th man on the team.
on the pond.
You decide. You pick that shit.
You decide. But everybody doesn't respond. Everybody doesn't respond like that. And everybody, it's just like learning styles in school.
Right.
Some people are like, receptive to their eyes, or some people got to hear it, or, some people just see it and just
Some people
it
gotta
click.
do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you got to like, it's got to be tangible or something like that. Like I'm touching eyes.
Side of control. I told you.
But
Lucky John ain't here.
man,
So like this to go into like the learning styles though, because I talk about this on the podcast all the time. I'm like, most kids don't understand, even adults now, they're learning style of like, are you an auditory learner? Like,
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
to physically
absolutely.
move in order to digest information. So like,
Yeah.
I want people to understand that aspect. Like, learn yourself first,
Yeah.
before you go try to learn this other trade, because you don't know how you're going to digest information.
No, absolutely. Because even like something like you saying, like with adults, the kids, I'll come in contact with a kid and they'll like, they'll see whatever Bron, we talking about Trae Young, LaMelo. They see them doing all of this stuff, and then they come in like, or they see it on the
Wanna do all that
video.
shit.
They see it on the video game, but like they see it, but it's not like they have the tangible like skill to like actually do that. So it's like it's like cut and pull with that, because it's like, and that's when like the teaching element has to come in to be like, all right, here how this is like how it's broken down into like layers as far as like doing this move, doing this combo or whatever, because you can't just be like, oh, I could just boom 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 and like do it. Like it's not coming like that. So over time I just had to learn people, because I can't yell at everybody, and some kids I can't be soft with everybody. So it's just
Yell at all of them.
yeah, yeah, and then I ain't gonna have no voice. But I really just had to learn like who I could say what to and who I could do what to. Because like I got a kid right now and I'm training. He's like a real like soft, like he's not like a hard like kid. You know what I'm saying? He not like, he don't got like a tough like demeanor, but he could play. So like a lot of times like he'll just be going through the motions, and like I match it to their demeanor, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like I'm like with him, I'm not gonna be like, hey, like do this a little bit better. I may do that at times, but if he's slacking, I'm like,
You on to that?
come on, like
Right.
let's get to
You're
it.
better than this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But like some kids, I don't got to do that too, because like I could just be like, all right, like come on now, and they like kind of like get
okay.
it.
I get it.
So like, but it really just depends on like the kid, and as far as like me being able, and that's the thing about people learning like and learning in their lives as far as like how to like communicate at different levels, and just being able to really just kind of like be patient with like other people, because like, and that's why I feel like I'm able to give like adults so much grace, because I'm around kids so much, and kids is a freaking wild card.
Man.
Like I'm dealing with a kid the other day, and he don't know how to run. Like he like shuffling his like he
Yeah.
like I'm like
Pick up your feet.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, see?
But like if I'm yelling at, how he gonna learn like that? And I'm like, pick up drop your feet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ron looking at the kid like, what?
Like, he gonna be like, and
Wait, how old is the kid though?
6th or 7th.
My son knows how to run.
See, I feel like at 6
But
or
like
7,
run, like say for instance, like run with a basketball,
Okay,
or like
okay.
run.
That's different.
Like
Okay.
not just pick up your feet and like, but
Run.
actually like get like moment. Like I know we think of running like you can just pick up your legs, but like it's actually like a skill.
yeah, that's multitasking in its finest moment. Right
Yeah,
there.
you
Like,
know what I'm
have to
saying? Like,
literally, like,
with the ball.
It's a minute skill. So with that being said, it's like you wouldn't think of it like that, but like I'm just like, all right, Rod, chill. Cause like,
You gotta talk to yourself real quick.
yeah, cause like he not gonna get it if I'm like always on 10 at that moment. You know, he just
Right.
going. Cause mind you, you even got to look at it. Cause I look at it from a coach's lens and a player lens. Like I could get yelled at and just be like, all right, forget you. Like I don't care what you just said. But like, if I'm looking at it like he is, I'm like, if I really don't know, I just don't know.
Right.
So like, tell me, give me the information so I could do what you asking out of me.
see, and that goes back to communication. Like, if I can't convey what I want you to do, it's like that's lost.
The correct way. I'm gonna just block out. I'm a block out. That's like, we ain't talking about relationships, but like you gotta be that name I learning stuff. Like somebody could sit at me all day because I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like really like calm, cool, collected. So I'll just look at you and hear what you're saying, but I'll just be like, I really didn't hear a thing you said. I heard you because you was yelling and you was getting what you got off your chest. But like, if you want it to be receptive, you know, if you want them to receive, you'll go about it. You know what I'm saying?
Show it a different way.
In that correct manner, because like Gabe would look at me probably sideways if I'm just sitting here yelling at him and I'm trying to get my.
I'm the same way. You already know. I'm
Yeah.
like, I heard you talking.
But like-
I didn't physically listen to what you
Listen,
said.
Yeah, the
just
moment you
said-
get to that other tone, I'm just like, all right,
It's bull.
Tone is everything.
turned it off. Yep. Oh.
But you mentioned before, and we even talked before the show. You're also a JV coach for a local high school out in Sheffield for Brookside. Now, how is it being a coach for a school basketball team? Like, do you train the same way you coach, or coach the same way you train, or do you have a different type of?
No, not at all. Because they're the same thing, but they're a different thing at the same time.
Right.
If that makes sense. So like, I know I could look at a player's. So it actually helps me in both aspects. Because I could look at a player and be like, why, or I could know why he did that, or I could tell him why he shouldn't do that because of my training abilities and me being able to see it different from the aspect of making the correct move, making the correct pass, or, you know, looking at the defense even differently from looking at it from a training aspect as what will work in this moment, what you should have did here. Because, like, there'll be times training, and most of the time in training, I'll have an agenda, but like I'm letting the kids be. I'll tell them like a move to do, but then I'll be like, add to that, or like be creative. Don't do the same move over and over again. Okay. I'll even tell them like, don't. I got a kid now. It's a good habit to have. Don't nobody teach people how to jump stop no more. But he love to jump stop, and I'm like, don't jump stop no more. Because I'm like, you're not gonna jump stop every time you get to the rim.
Like, you add it to your bag, but just other stuff.
Like I'm like, it's probably the odds of you jump stopping every time is. It's not gonna happen.
Unless your name's
that's like
that's
like me coming down Euroing every time I get to the rim.
Now they know like he's gonna Euro.
He's gonna Euro every time. So
That's
you
what
got to
Gabe
be able.
does every
So
time.
it's I implement that and being like, okay, and it actually helped me too as far as like coaching, because like I know X and O's, but I know I'm a lot better now, like differently as far as like looking at things from a playbook and being able to set things up on like the fly now, because I know where people are going to be at in the moment.
And I think that pays sediment to what we talked about before, just me and you, and how you said in high school you just played the game.
Yeah.
But now as a trainer, as a coach, you understand the game more than opposed when you played it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Gabe will tell you, my sophomore year, because I think out of our class, Gabe, I'll speak from realistically. Not what I think in my
Keep it a stack, yo.
head. Not what I think in my
Hey,
head.
let me grab my drink for this one.
Not what I think in my head. So we got Eric Berkey when we sophomores.
Right.
We got Eric Berkey. We got Dame knows. and we got me. So at that time,
Just in our class? Yeah, we didn't have Rail yet, did we?
no, we didn't. He came in a little later.
Right.
That year. So, but Rail is Rail. So yeah.
Is that the game?
That's the game.
Cleveland won.
Oscar Gonzalez.
Breaking
I fucking
news.
love you.
Shout out to Oscar.
I love
We
you.
just made it
Shout out
to
to the Big O.
ALCS.
How many freaking innings did they end up playing?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I gotta pause this real quick. I gotta hear the crowd. He better show me the crowd, bruh. I want to see
Who's
it
at the
going
game?
dummy, Benny.
Aha.
We are
That shit is lit. RJ right there.
My boy.
Say what up.
Look at R. Congratulations, my guy.
Uh-huh.
Fatherhood.
Ain't it? All right, I'm getting off. I'm on the pod.
So
So it's you,
me,
Burke, Dame,
and Dame. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I know Dame is taller
and you
than
got
me.
Gabe coming solid seventh man off the bench.
Gabe is getting burned though. Still at that time, he's
Okay.
not starting, but he's playing.
Okay.
He's not sitting there.
Solid six man. Okay, I feel it. Solid six. He said,
I
"Don't
ain't
put me in that seventh row."
Did you play you played sophomore year though?
Yeah, I went to a couple of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
The
games,
only year I didn't play was my senior year.
which is some
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah. And you played junior year, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So my sophomore year, in my mind, I'm like, I know for sure, like, 1-on-1, there's nobody out here that could see me. Like, just because how I'm playing at the park, like how I hoop outside, but like when you get in like a full court, how you playing like in the park and stuff like that, don't none of that matter for real.
A lot of people can't play on the whistle.
No,
That
under
are
the
hoop
whistle.
shoot. They cannot.
Because probably at that time, and you got to think like this too. In the open gyms, I'm still giving work. So like I'm still busting people like.
I bust him all the time when we go. Bust his ass. I know exactly what you're
Dang,
talking about.
gosh.
What are you talking about?
Rod, I know. I feel you.
You don't even play sports. What are you talking about, bro?
So I
Jacob's that
understand.
person where if you give him the ball, no matter where he's at, he's just gonna pull.
Strap.
Yeah.
He's just pulling.
Yeah, he not
He,
hitting
he ain't hitting it. He ain't hitting
He
glass, rim,
You need
nothing.
game
He
winners.
just gonna shoot.
If you need game winners,
He
call me
better.
up.
He better rebound. He better
Barely.
go out there and
I asked
hate
this man
game
to just give
winners.
me a pick. That's all I need you to do. Send me a solid screen. Can't even do that.
Don't even give me a
I
pick.
hate
Give me a
game
water
winners.
from the refrigerator.
I hate game winners. That's all I'm good for.
Hey yo!
Don't ask for the pick. Don't ask for the rebound. You need a game winner. I'm out there for you.
Jacob, I need my towel. I need my water. That's all you need
This
for me.
man.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm like, okay, I know I could score. And in my mind, the people who are above me, like the juniors and seniors, at that time it's like what?
Cliff,
It's Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Chad,
it's Seth.
Chad,
What's the one dude too? The Puerto Rican cat, Marcus. I can't think his last name.
Rodriguez,
Marcus Rodriguez, Josh Molina.
Josh, you said him. Yeah.
We already said Chad. Who the heck else? Hemi, but Hemi, he's solidified.
Yes, he was solid.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, big shot. If he could have kept it locked in,
Man, he was-
craziest bucket
he's special
around
for
it,
sure.
man. And so I just named. I know I'm better than Chad, but I'm not gonna do what Chad does. Chad gonna go out there and rebound. He gonna go out there and guard one of the best.
Rod said that's on me.
He was just a rugged player.
He a rugged player.
Okay,
Mind you,
okay.
I'm rugged, but I'm not Chad.
He said I ain't that
He going
rugged.
out there like trying to run through cats.
Yeah.
Like he was a football player that played basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But he what he did was needed.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did at the time, they already had that better. So it was like I'm not looking at it like that though. So like I'm thinking like, man, I'm like I know I could score just as good as Cliff, but Cliff is older than me. He already been playing. He know the speed. He know the tempo of the game. So obviously he's gonna choose Cliff. Then we got Josh Molina. What I probably still to this day I
Barbecue chicken.
yeah. Then Marcus, barbecue, Seth. He likes Seth, so he gonna keep Seth. I'm trying to think of who else, man.
I'm trying to think too, man.
Burke, they love Burke from 8th grade, so he's locked in for
Yeah, Burke started JV as
as
our
a freshman.
Freshman, okay.
Yeah,
I remember
and
that.
then
I remember
I
that
think
too.
then towards later of the season he started dressing a little var. But outside,
Yeah,
of
Burke was locked in.
yeah, so he's almost untouchable.
Who fucking played?
Man, I can't think of who else. So I'm like, there's a spot for me on this varsity team. But I'm just like,
You gotta go get it.
yeah. But I'm doing work though. Like
Right.
But at the time it just wasn't like clicking how it probably should have.
Right.
Even though like mano a mano, it's guys out there that I know I'm better than, but like what I did on the court, it's already out there. So
Caleb's brother didn't play, did he?
he did play.
Yeah, okay.
Robert Branscombe.
I'm thinking like,
Then you got
man.
Robert Branscombe out there.
I'm like, did he play?
Yep,
Because
he
Caleb
played.
played.
Big country
Caleb
boy,
was-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. Caleb was like 6'6", big burly white kid.
I remember. Okay.
Will Ferrell.
I remember.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
It looked just like Will
But
Ferrell.
I'm just like at that time, I'm like, man. But you don't probably, I'm only like 13, I'm 14, 15 years old. You ain't seen it like that though. So,
yeah.
because at the time,
Because at the
That's a
time, I don't
journey.
even think low key our JV year Dame didn't even play varsity at the beginning.
nah, because at the end of the season, me and him started going to the varsity practices. I think we ended up dressing a tournament game just off the humbug. But like, you're not looking at. But now though, I look at it like that from like a coaching perspective, cause I'm gonna be like the day that I become a varsity head coach, I'm gonna be like, I don't care how old or young you are, if whoever it is, if you could hoop or you could play, you're going to play.
Okay.
Like
I'm
I'm
talking
not.
about favoritism going. Like if you,
I'm not
play,
talking about you. If you a senior, junior, sophomore, whatever. If you could
play,
hoop,
you can play.
you're going to hoop. There's a kid. There's only two kids that I've trained up until their 8th grade, when they were 8th graders, into them going on to freshmen. I trained them. Only 2 kids, and they walked into their high school or whatever, and made varsity. Just because I'm like, I know what it takes and I know what it looks like, and just off of them being in the right spot, being at the right time, they didn't even know they was gonna make varsity. But I'm like, watch, you gonna make varsity.
I was like, what?
That's true.
So to shift gears a little bit, you talked about basketball a lot, but you've also mentioned several times you have a son. How important is fatherhood to you?
Fatherhood.
Shout out to Savon.
I love that name.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's my.
We helped him name his kid.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I swear to God.
That's what's up.
Facts.
Now, how old is your son?
He's about to be he about to be a year next month.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I had to think about
You're
it.
approaching on the year mark.
Time
Woo-wee.
flies.
Yeah.
So how has that fatherhood journey been for you for the first year? Like how has he affected your life in positive ways, and what has he helped you, I guess, take more notice of in just everyday living?
Probably really just taking my time a little bit more and being able to just be. I try to be as patient as I can now, but like I can't rough up a 10-month-year-old or like I can't scream at a 10-month-year-old. Like
You
could, but you're gonna look foolish.
Yeah, you're gonna look crazy, but
So like with that being said, like coming into fatherhood has been so like implemental to me because one, I've had father figures in my life, but like I don't have my actual father. So like that right there for me, I'm like, okay, I gotta set the tone from not from whatever the fathers came before me or whatever. I gotta set the tone now with like me being like a dad. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can't have it being like said again like, oh, like this is Savon, he didn't know his dad, he didn't have a relationship
That
with
cycle.
his dad.
Yep.
I can't have like a continuation like of the cycle because then maybe my son will think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And as far as just like fatherhood, even just fatherhood period, but how fathers are looked at as in the black community, it's always a common joke to be like, oh, do you have a dad? Or do you have like, you know what I'm saying? Like people make light out of it. But like it's so important for, just how I'm learning now, just to one, be there and to do what it takes to be there. Because like one day my son's gonna look back and be like, oh yeah, like my dad, he was there. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's important to me because like he ain't in no like little league games or doing nothing like that now. But like if it's something that I could do, to help his mom if I ain't busy or whatever, or if I gotta cancel something to do this, I'm gonna try to do it to my best ability because I don't know what that looks like to be done for me. So I'm gonna go out
Right.
and do what I need to do for him.
And I respect what you said so much too, because prior to the show, me and you talked a little bit, and I asked, how the co-parenting is too, and you said honestly, to you, it doesn't always feel like that because you have your son a lot.
Yeah.
Which for a young man, you don't always hear.
Yeah.
So for me to hear that as a father, also, it's like that's refreshing to hear a young man who takes pride of being a father. And
Absolutely.
making sure he's there for his, for his son. So I salute you for that. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, because you know what it is too, Jake. I can't be, because how even I said a little bit earlier, y'all, about like one failure trickles into other things. Me being I was a businessman before I was a father, but now I'm father businessman. So
100%.
If my responsibilities if I'm not always trying to stay on point in my approach as a father and stuff like that, that'll trickle into my business. And then my image as a father is also my image as my business brand.
Yeah.
So I can't be out here being like, oh, Sharod, he's this, he's a guy of the community. He does this and that. He
don't take care of his kid,
and I don't take care of my
something.
son.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
And it's so crazy you say that though, because we see it way too often.
It's
which is unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, but it's almost ridiculous.
Yeah,
because
that's a better word for it. Really.
I can't be shown in one light and then not be the same thing. That's hypocritical. I can't be one thing in one light and then not the other thing in the other light. That's got to be a balance somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it, because even though at the time I'm not planning to have a son, but I'm like, shoot, I gotta be responsible.
Right.
I gotta, you know what I'm saying, step up. And because if not, I'm not, because I never thought of it like this till somebody told me, but like, I'll be danged if I'm gonna have somebody else out here taking care of my kid. You know what I'm saying?
Respect on that.
I'm gonna be danged if I'm gonna be out here like, yeah, this Sharod, son, I'm doing that. And that's how I kind of think.
Fucked
yeah,
up.
you got me messed up.
You hear that though? Like somebody else taking care of your child.
Yeah, that's wild.
That sounds wild. Like,
yeah. That's why. Even if
I
it came to the point, it's not like this now, because me and my son's mom, like I said, like it depends, like, but we doing the best we can with what we got.
Exactly.
So we work together, and we're actually like, as far as like trying to like break like the system and the cycle of how things have been like in our lives and parenthood, trying to like completely like break that.
And it sounds like to me you guys are actually mature enough to understand the child comes first.
Yeah.
Fuck your ego, fuck her.
Yeah.
The child is first.
Yeah. And we whatever, people gonna argue and do that. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, when it come down to the nitty gritty, we always together gonna do, what's best for my son. Exactly. Like I was telling you too, like, even though like it's something I can't even think of something somebody could do to make me mad, but she could frustrate me and do that all at the end of the day.
He only get mad on the court.
On the hoop, yeah.
On the hoop side.
He only gets mad when he's hooping.
Definitely seen that firsthand.
I swear to God.
Hoop. So if it ain't that, I'ma really just be like, like it is kind of like what it is. Even in like an argument, because like I was telling you, at the end of the day, like with her giving me my son, right now I tier that as my biggest blessing in life, and my biggest responsibility. Right. So we could be arguing about whatever, and she could be right, or I could be right. She could be wrong. I could be wrong. But at the end of the day, like, I can't even be really mad for real.
Exactly.
Cause like, I'll never carry a baby.
Correct.
None of us will.
Scientifically,
no
Jacob
man.
Maybe, but
yeah. None of us. Whatever people got going on now today or whatever, they doing all of this other.
I told you he looked like a full
dyke, don't he?
he had his hair in the front. I said he looked like a full size dyke.
God, dog.
Just jokes, baby. Just jokes.
I didn't want to say it. You let it fly. I was like, fuck it.
Hey, yo, I gotta see that. But I'm like, man, she gave me the biggest blessing, man. So I can't even.
That's what's up.
I can't even really be mad like that.
So I got two more for you. Then I'm out of questions. Personally, what's your why? What is your purpose for doing everything you do? He's stuck.
No.
Digesting the question.
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you. Think before you speak.
I mean, I would say, obviously it's the kids.
Yeah,
the kids, not the kids. But.
I would just say it's more about empowering and imparting. So what I mean by that is like the knowledge that I have, the wisdom that I have, and I'm still learning about. Like I could do a lot. I don't know, like, you know, shout out to my guy Kobe. But I could do a lot with my life just for me. But like I could do more with my life for other people.
Okay.
So, and this is it's so much bigger. That's why I say it's so much bigger than just, you know, like the success of like basketball. Cause like, say for instance, I could train, like I use my brother. So like I could train my brother, you know, and he plays football now, but I could train him as his football trainer, his basketball trainer, and do all of these things. But then, say for instance, so me training him up until that point, I won't say I was a major factor or whatever, because he did all the work, but I helped him, I assisted him in doing that. So now, say for instance, he could make it to the NFL. Say if he don't make it to the NFL, he still goes to an Ivy League school where he's doing pre-med. There's no doctors. My family, my last name for my family is Brown. I don't know a freaking doctor in my single family. He could be the first black doctor in our family. So it's a lot bigger than just, you know, training somebody for like basketball. For a sport. This is like life stuff that's gonna carry him beyond finances or whatever. It's gonna do something for him that's gonna change and shift the whole generation as far as like the momentum of our complete family. So then take for instance, so that's a lot personal to me. So then I do that, say I'm doing that to the 5 other lives or 10 other, how many other people I train. I've transformed 10 generations. So it's a lot bigger, you know, a lot of times. That's why I say, I know I always like quote or, you know, hashtag, you know, bigger than hoops or whatever, yada, yada. But you don't really understand the impact of that until you shift and you change the trajectory of how somebody's life is going.
Right.
Because one day, you know, even in NBA or whatever, the ball going to stop dribbling or whatever. And then after that, my brother have a degree. There's a kid or whatever, I've been training for 4 years now. He gonna go to college and play basketball next year or whatever. 1 year he ain't gonna hoop no more, but he gonna have his degree. He gonna say I got the hoop, I got to train with Sharod or whatever. He may forget about it back then, but this is all in the avenue of getting to his journey. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot bigger than, you know, just being like, hey, y'all come train with me, come, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put something. I'm trying to empower people to the point where their lives are changed.
So the next question, I think you answered part of it within the answer you just gave, but end of the day, you know, 30 years from now, what do you want your legacy to read? Like, what Sharod Brown was a great basketball trainer. He went on to train future NBA All-Stars, you know, great community leader. Like, what do you want your story to be when all is said and done? You're 60-year-olds just kicking it. What do you want your legacy?
30 years from now.
Picture, because you got to think, not just in our, because my pastor, she said this last night, not just in our community, but in the world. There's no like big, I don't want to say big names, but no monumental people anymore in the world like that. So say for instance in the civil rights.
I don't know, man. Kanye.
We got Ye.
Wait,
we got Ye.
I know we got like Kanye, but I'm saying like as far as like that'll shift the trajectory of like
some real shit
of like race.
Okay.
So
it's like say for instance like the civil rights movement, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
I see what you're saying.
If you could
Ye say some shit, man.
That'll
he's stopping the world.
Oh yeah, that'll stop the world. So yeah, we can go too.
But he's a different type of like activist.
Yeah, it's a different avenue. Yeah. So I wanted to, at the end of the day, I want people to look at me and look at the life that I lived and being like, this is somebody who I would want my child to grow up like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because like people look at Martin Luther King and being like, I've heard even people say like this about my son or whatever, you know, in church they like prophesy, like speaking to you and stuff like that. So they'll be like, I see your son as being like a Martin Luther King. So I want people to be like, I seen that about like Sharod, or I seen like, you know, like when at the end of the day, when people talk about my life and they at my funeral, I want my funeral to like, you don't got breathing room in there.
Like tight, everybody.
Like you gotta buy a ticket to get in my funeral.
Oh, you talking about like some Kobe type of like.
Like some
man.
like.
He said all the donations. Please
like this is a real service.
Yeah. Because like at the end of
the world type of deal.
Because like at the end of the day, and I've heard this too. Like I've been to one funeral one time where I seen like maybe like 20 people, And at the time, look,
20 people.
but at the time, I'm still like probably like either in high school or fresh out of high school, and I'm just like, man, like it ain't a lot of people in here.
People
Like
didn't
maybe
fuck
like
with
people
you.
just didn't show up today. But how many times, if you really know somebody and like they really like meant something to you, I don't care what you doing or what you got going on, you're going to the funeral.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I look at that like I'm like, maybe he didn't have a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I'm like, what did he do in his life where only 20 people came to see him at the last moment when they'll see him?
Right.
You never know. Maybe he wasn't the greatest person, greatest friend.
You'll never know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Now you left. Now I'm in there. Now I'm like, dang, like what the heck did he do?
You trying to figure this shit out?
No,
Man.
you always gotta keep in mind.
But
like,
no, I mean, I've caught myself looking at funeral rooms like that. Like, man, there ain't that many people in here. Like, I'd be damned if this is only the
Man.
amount that's coming to mind. Low
For
key
real.
type shit.
I was driving on Levitt the other day. I know I'm gonna live a pretty long time, but like I'm not scared of death or nothing like that. But I know the Lord is gonna keep me for a lot of years. But I'm driving on Levitt. I'm like, man, if I pass away right now, like where would they have my funeral? And I'm like, they'll have to have it at like North Coast or like sell out Clearview or something. Because like even like I'm not nowhere near the impact or what I want to do now, but like I'm just like I know I've done enough now
You made an impact on
You've
people.
touched enough, too.
that I'm if I would go, I'll be alright. I'm gonna be okay.
That's what's up. That's all the questions I had.
you sure?
I got one. How has like
I can
the
finish it up because we're running with the time.
how has like the training the younger kids helped you be an actual father? Because before you had your son, you were training younger kids already, so you had to dial back.
Yeah, it's probably changed my whole like.
And I feel like it was easier for you to transition to coaching a kid to having a kid because you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta coach your kid.
yeah, at some point, yeah,
You know what I mean?
it is definitely because like now, I even tell people when they like start training with me, I be like, y'all lucky y'all didn't get the Sharod when I first started training because he was a madman. Like I'm coming in the session like 10 sprints. like coach I'm like I'll be telling him like I'm Coach Carter times 10.
Oh shit!
So I'm like I'm going from skill drill to form, or I'll like go from form shooting, ball handling. Y'all got conditioning, skill training, in-game training, conditioning, live game training, conditioning. Then after that, pardon me. Then after that,
Wind sprints.
we going to the turf. Y'all got 15 minutes circuits on the turf. So
Sled
like
work.
That sounds amazing, but yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. But now I'm a lot more like the sessions are still definitely hard, but they like make sense. So like
You coach them with like a like blueprint now instead of
yeah,
saying the
just
same.
like you know what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
So like even with like not answering the question, it's helped me to like look at things from a whole different perspective and being like, okay, this kid not gonna get it how this kid is, how we were still talking about communication and conveying like, you know, learning. He not gonna get it how this kid gonna get it. He not gonna learn like this. I don't gotta yell at him like this, or I don't gotta talk to him like this. So like with my son now, and he coming into the age where he like start like learning like little things, like, you know, like come here, like if he want to eat or something. So like, or if he like getting into something, I can't be like, hey, Savon. He just gonna be like,
Shugging up like what?
like what? Like somebody, why are you screaming? So it's helped me be a lot more structured, and it's helped me be a lot more like calmer, like going into like any situation really. So like to the point where like you never know like how mad you could be till somebody got pee poop and like sneeze in your face, and you can't do nothing about it. This is real.
I know it's real.
Man, that's why Jake laughing so hard.
That happened to you?
Bro,
Man.
there was times Parker got up from a nap, shit all the way up his back. I'm just like, I quit.
Man, bro.
I quit.
I remember Savon, he was firstborn.
Oh shit!
I was supposed to, I'm taking him, I gotta go to work, and I'm taking him to my grandma's, and like he just got poop all up his back. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, who would do this?
Type of madman.
Man, like how did it get there?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be my thing too. Like, yo, you got it on like the back of your ear, my nigga. Like, how?
That's what I'm saying. And like the whole time, man, that's why I just But it's definitely, man, it's definitely a humbling and a great experience, man, because at the time, I probably, not that I was going to get worse, but I would have never probably had nothing to humble me to get me to the point where I needed to be a lot more like mellow,
chill,
and like just like take in stuff and not react, but respond the right way.
Exactly.
So like that's why like I'm so like grateful for my son, because he came into my life at a time where like now like Gabe probably will tell you like in high school I was always like I'm still dark skinned now, but I'm dark skinned, I'm chubby, I can't dress, I'm just your periodical, everyday, little kid from the hood. So, but now I'm coming into adulthood and I'm walking.
Where you still can't dress.
Yeah,
Icon, we talking about, bro. You see that picture over there?
Man.
Mogul.
Yeah, the other one. I'm surprised you didn't get the other one, the beige one. I think he's in.
Oh yeah,
that one cold too. That one cold.
But even that though, like it's this type of like self love you have to have for yourself.
Yeah.
To do that type of stuff. Everybody's uncomfortable in their own skin to like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a model and be comfortable about it. Like.
Yeah.
People gonna question like what?
People be asking me though, like if I like really model.
I thought like you don't.
No,
I thought you did. Yeah.
These are business pictures.
Yeah, he just took pictures for
These are like branding pictures. These aren't like modeling pictures. Yeah. People will ask me if I model, and I'll be like, no, but like,
not yet.
When we're in high school though, like, Gabe probably don't notice because I never said this out loud, but like, I'm around people who are getting girls, but I'm not getting like love like that. Right. So like,
I feel like you was.
See, you wouldn't feel that.
That was around probably.
Yeah, because I'm around. But he don't know that. So like, it was so different. So like, then when I get into my adulthood, so I got my business. I'm now more confident. I'm getting a little bit more love. So like, all of these things is like coming at me that could, and this is why like any downfall of a man. What you'll see, it'll come from money. It'll come from sex. What's the other one?
That's basically it, dog.
It's another one.
It was like money, power, desire.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And at the time, not that I'm having like just sex or whatever, but
he said, I'm not running through bitches.
I'm not running. I'm not. Yeah. But at the time, any one of those like instances could have like drove me to the point where it could have affected my business in a way, and I could have lost it.
Right.
So like then here comes my son, just out of happenstance, like I wasn't planning for him, but like thank God he did come, because that humbled me and that put me in a position to be like, okay, like
so look at like just life
a
in
whole
general,
bunch of different. Like cause like at that point I'm like, shoot, I got one now and I'm not married. I ain't about to have a whole bunch of like little rods running out here.
You're not about to be Nick Cannon, I feel it.
Yeah, no, there's no way, cause etc. It's getting there, but ain't no way it's gonna support 5 or 10. What I'm gonna have left? Like a ball. So like it's
sleeping
more,
in there and shit.
It's even more important. Like I'm saying, like like getting kids and to come in and do like training and stuff like that. But like being a businessman ain't just about the business. It's about how you carry your image as the businessman. So it's more deeper into that, because like I would look at it like, say for instance, if I was sending my son to a trainer and he just had like a whole bunch of women out here doing him crazy, having a whole bunch of kids, I'm like, I'm not sending him to him. I'm like, look what kind of man he is.
Mm-hmm. Teaching him wrong stuff.
Right.
Like what he gonna for real teach my son?
Got you.
Outside of that, because you got to look at it as too, just outside of like basketball training, I'm a mentor too.
Right.
So like how I think and how I apply myself in my life, that's what I'm gonna pass on to somebody else. So they gonna be like, oh, like they gonna see my little 5 running around and be like, oh shoot, like they might think that's cool because of all the other flashy stuff that's around me. Mm-hmm. But it don't all add up. Just like I said about the fatherhood thing, the businessman thing, your image has to line up to the point where it's just like, oh, you may have flaws. We all gonna have flaws as people, but
it's all about the image.
What you see is what you get.
Right.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that on social media. That's a perfect platform to like, you can convey yourself as a whole different person.
Man.
Who you are in real life. People are like, you're not really like that. Like, no, like.
Not at all. I tell people all the time, man, it's only because I got a business that I have social media and the whole freaking thing about marketing and stuff like that. If you got a business, you gotta market. That's just how it is. That's just the world we live in. Mm-hmm. So like outside of that, and I hate posting. it'd be so much work because
He
like
be deleting everything.
I don't
Right now, everything's deleted. I
don't
even
try
care.
to think. I don't try to think of it like as a compare thing, but like we're gonna compare it.
Yeah.
I try not to.
Naturally
I try not
instinct,
to.
yeah.
I try not to because there's some
Part of
posts.
psychology. You're going
To because like I'll see somebody like that's why like a lot of times when some of my first business posts that I don't have on there anymore, I used to tag a whole bunch of like trainers. I used to tag like ESPN, Sports Center, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But now I don't do that like that anymore because like if I'm gonna post something, it's gonna be like for the natural sense of just me posting it for my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like
you're not
whoever gonna see it is supposed to see it. I'm not gonna beg you to see something, you know, that I'm putting out here naturally, just off, you know, just out of me just promoting. Right. I'm not promoting it for you to see. I'm promoting it for the brand to be shown.
Right.
So, but if because we live in a whole. It's crazy out here.
It is. Yeah.
Sharod, I appreciated your conversation a lot this episode. So I don't know if you listened to us before. At the end of each episode,
You want to mental health and
yeah.
you can ask him any question for us before we close out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I always forget we haven't had a guest in a while. Do you have any questions for us?
What's the reason why y'all started doing these, having like podcasts and stuff like that?
Shout out to Cliff. I'm sorry you're not here to defend this
So
answer.
many moons ago.
He said, "Why we have a podcast? Not who started the podcast."
Oh, why? Okay. So
Yeah,
basically,
What's your reasoning for doing this?
long story short?
He's about to go on
Me and Clifton had a conversation. Me and Clifton used to work together. Had a conversation one day.
Not how it got started. Why do we continue to do it?
Because it's a fun ass time. We want to spread our message. We want to send positivity to the community. We want to be informative for our community and just to have on young entrepreneurs like yourself, just to help you guys have a springboard to spread your message and make you guys more relevant in our community too.
Mm-hmm. So, and
I would say that too. I would say outside of the people that I've already known that we've brought onto the podcast, like you, Ivan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pete. Like the people I have officially just met, it's been all some dope ass people, man.
Yeah.
Like we haven't brought
No, from the people that I've seen that y'all had, y'all just don't be like choosing like randoms, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like they're random to me because I don't know a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah,
In some way, type
but
of
y'all
form,
just not randomly just like going.
Somebody
like,
knows.
Hey,
somebody.
you want to be on? Hey, you want to be on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
So I think that's the best thing about it is promoting people's businesses that I would have never known without actually doing this. So there's a lot of new followers that I get on Instagram and shit like that. It's just opening a lot of new doors just to a lot of people I've never met before.
No, that's dope though. So for me, it's like this is therapeutic because as men, I like to sit down and have that conversation. Some things we talk about, get your hands off feet, are like not always like out there. And it's like I want to talk about the uncomfortable stuff. I want people to be okay with talking about your like the hard times, the ups, the downs. Like it all makes sense. Please stop touching me.
I just want to make you feel comfortable.
Like
so, Sharod, at the end of each episode,
crazy, man.
We do a mental health check, basically 1 through 10 of how you've been doing this week. I shall start us off today to kind of give an example of how we do it.
You are terrible at just everything. All right, listen. So each episode,
I just said it.
1 through 10. How are you feeling mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, however you convey it? 1 through 10. For me, since I'm starting, I'm feeling good today. I'm at like a 10 because you bought me Starbucks. I kicked your ass at golfing. Life is good, man. Extremely blessed, extremely happy to have Sharod on for sure. Like, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's always how I view my life, and like, I think everything is supposed to happen how it's supposed to.
Right, Jacob, you're going second, right?
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm a solid 9. I lost an Ash and golf.
A 9, these are high numbers.
But besides that, I mean, everything else has been cool this week. I don't really have much to complain about. Everything's been going kosher my way.
Nothing to complain about?
Not
He's taking multiple L's this week.
See, that's
Gabe
the whole
that's
Starbucks.
Gabe destroyed your whole family.
I came through. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think if we ever run into this situation again, and I beat both y'all in the same week, y'all gotta conceive a child and name him Gabe. Because I own y'all.
At that point,
you know what I'm saying?
At that point, let's just make it legal.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know who's the godfather of Parker, but you might as well just get the documents. Get the documents right, okay? But I would say I'm gonna have to go with Ash. I'm a low key at 10, man. We watched this long ass Indians game.
15 innings.
Ohio State's going down the damn the field and just
Y'all got me watching baseball. I don't even do it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I swear.
He's a good sport baseball.
I said, what inning is it? It's right up there.
But yeah, the Indians won. I got bowling later on the night. I'm about to hopefully win that. Softball, we finally lost our first game yesterday, but we had like nobody. We had like 7 subs yesterday, so we ended the year 12-1-1.
Damn, that's pretty good though.
Yep. So we got the 1 seed in the playoffs. So that'll start next week.
Shout out to y'all.
Got softball tomorrow again.
Damn.
You active, man.
I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, bro. You already know.
That's what you do.
What about you, Mr. Rod? He's like the pressure. Damn.
No, it don't have to be a 10. I mean, we'll just.
Nah, I'm gonna go realistically. I'll probably say 8.
Yep.
Okay.
See?
I'll probably say 8, man. I've never been a person to complain about nothing because anything good or bad that's came in my life, I know I was the decision maker in whatever came. So being accountable in that way. So I really, even if I made a decision that something bad came in my life, I knew it was my fault. So, or I was the determining factor about it, so I can't complain about it. All I could do is progress from there. So every day, man, I just try to keep my business growing, keep trying to just make momentum and just doing stuff the right way for the right reasons every day. So, man, I'm just trying to keep it, like I tell people, ask me all the time, like, how you doing, Rob? I be like, I'm just trying to keep it pushing.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it pushing, man. So, like, and especially as long as my son, as long as he doing good,
That's all you gotta worry about.
I'm straight.
So no cliff today. But I got a gym. Ready?
Oh, God.
Ready?
Here we go.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. Because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. By Dr. Seuss.
I knew you about to say Dr. Seuss.
It's been another episode of It's On Us podcast. Hope y'all enjoy.
You're.
Bye, Mom.
And that is going to wrap it, guys. The episode is finished. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like it, share it with your friends and family, and be sure to follow us on all our social media pages at IOU Podcast 440. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the continued support. We'll see you soon. Bye.